wolf attacks, i.e. gun owners, Tea Partiers, and constitutionalists, when training videos clearly link Sheikh Mubarak Ali Jalani to an expanding network of radical Islamic cells within the United States. Further, State Department documents have not listed Fukra as a terror organization, regardless of countless felonies committed by its members. Jalani's intent is echoed by the Muslim Brotherhood with slogans like, "God is our objective," "The Prophet is our leader," "The Quran is our law," "Jihad is our way," "Dying in the way of God is our highest hope," and Obama's ties to the Muslim Brotherhood are becoming increasingly well known.
Why President Barack Hussein not hitting hard on the terrorists and on ISIS? And I know it sounds crazy, but bear with me. President Barack was born after his older brother Malik. The father, Mr. Hussein, named his son Malik, and that's one of God's names in Islam. The second son, he named him Barak. What does Barak mean? Barak is the right Prophet Muhammad, and we can see Mr. Malik sitting with Mr. Obama, visiting him in the White House. Mr. Malik is in charge of the Muslim Brotherhood in Africa. There's a lot of finances going on through Mr. Malik, and we can see him in another picture holding the Yemenian dagger on his waist. And he is a big supporter to the Muslim Brotherhood. And that explains that Mr. Barack Hussein is not hitting hard on the Muslim Brotherhood. On the contrary, he took them off the terrorist list. For years and years, the Muslim Brotherhood is on the terrorist list around the world. In the Arab world, who knows them best? But Mr. Barack decided to take them off the terrorist list and start to be sponsoring them and put them in charge of Egypt.
The IRS and your tax dollars allow these nonprofit organizations openly hell-bent on the destruction of the United States to operate within the United States. Demographics show that the Muslim birth rate is the world's highest, but it is falling faster than the birth rate of any culture. The Muslim world currently has 25 million idle young men struggling to follow the immigration path to Western Europe and the United States to escape abject poverty and diminishing resources. Now the Obama administration is playing semantics with the usage of the term radical Islam in an apparent bid to paint their investment in a better light.
The lengths to which he will go to avoid telling us the truth about the enemy is becoming comical. It's certainly embarrassing. For example, he will never forget about the word jihadist. He'll never use that. But he refuses to use the word Islamist, which is used throughout the Muslim world. It's used by journalists, by authors.
There are a variety of reasons why people...
But was radical Islam one of them?
There are a variety of reasons why people do these things. Some of them are potentially religious-based.
Okay, but all I'm asking is if you think among those variety of reasons, radical Islam might have been one of the reasons that the individuals took the steps that they did.
We see, you say radical Islam. I mean, I think those people who espouse a version of Islam that is not...
Are you uncomfortable attributing any of their actions to radical Islam? It sounds like...
No, I don't want to say anything negative about a religion that is not...
I'm not talking about a religion. I'm talking about radical Islam. I'm not talking about the general religion. Mr. A.G., it's hard to get an answer, yes or no. But
And look, the Middle East is coming apart with this administration's policy. Look at Libya. We should never have gone into Libya. Gaddafi was on our side. Look at Egypt. Morsi is now going after the Muslim Brotherhood and the radical Islamists, and we've got Muslim Brotherhood in the U.S. government today. And so look at what's going on in Syria.
Who from the Muslim Brotherhood is in the U.S. government right now?
Who?
Yes.
Look, I haven't got their names exactly, but there's a list of them, at least 10 or 15 of them.
Do you know any major Arab ally that embraces ISIL?
I know major Arab allies who fund them. He spent about an hour meeting with 5 different rebel commanders who came from all over Syria to plead with him for heavier weapons, a no-fly zone, and airstrikes against the forces of President Bashar al-Assad.
Arming the enemy and advancing its movement towards the United States' wide open borders. If ever a U.S. president committed treason and deserved impeachment, the time is now. Regardless of our long-standing stance on religious freedom, these terror cells are being protected for what blatantly appears to be a key component of the New World Order's endgame on American soil.
That's right, Joe Biggs. Full report, Infowars.com. Spread the video. Breaking news and other reports as well. Again, Alex Jones coming to you from deep in the heart of Texas, Austin. Here's what I want to do. Let me just mention some of the news that's coming up today. Top Obamacare official stepping down. Dive Obama's just has a 37% approval rating in a new major scientific poll. New bill would mark the beginning of the end of Common Core. Germany proposes jihad identity cards because the terrorists are still allowed to fly everywhere. All you do is pick them up for probable cause. You don't then issue them jihad cards. They're not allowed to travel. That is Nazi Germany in Germany. Belgian police, of course, killed 2 in anti-terror raid during shootout. Elon Musk, who I know is a listener of the broadcast, and who we're going to get on the show, gives $10 million to fight killer robots. And, of course, that's the head of Tesla. Well, the problem is they've already got autonomous drones operating all over the place, but he is certainly worried about the real issue there on that front. Zuckerberg defends Facebook censorship despite Charlie Hebdo support and, of course, calling his users dumb effers. That's in the London Guardian. He hangs out with the communist Chinese censorship czar, learning how to make us a totalitarian society. He is a true hypocrite monster pig on every front. Vatican attempts to clarify Pope Francis' comment on Paris attack. Pontiff causes stir. You cannot provoke. You cannot insult the faith of others. Really? Really? He said, yeah, if someone talks bad about my mother, I will hit them. The last pope criticized the Islamists killing Christians in Syria and other areas and killing non-radical Muslims in Libya, Egypt, you name it. This pope, so which one's right? I mean, I'm not a Catholic, but if the pope's supposedly infallible, which one was fallible then? Was it the last one that they made leave, or this new one who's an admitted socialist? First time that we've had a public socialist pope over 1.2 billion people of 7 billion on this planet. And he came out and endorsed carbon taxes and global government a few weeks ago. And now he's saying that you shouldn't be able to criticize folks. Well, Kit Daniels wrote an article here that I think is very powerful. And it went viral last night on Infowars.com. But it went out last night. I want to retweet it today at Real Alex Jones and post it on Facebook. Pope advocates violence in response to free speech, but that's how Jesus died. Jesus Christ was crucified for stating he was the Son of God. And they told him, shut up and recant, or they're going to kill him. And he wouldn't do it. And then Pontius Pilate gave him a chance, and he wouldn't do it. And Pontius Pilate said, I find no fault with this man. But I guess the Pope kind of trumps Christ, doesn't he, for a lot of folks out there? I said, I am Jesus. I am, said Jesus, and you will see the Son of Man sitting in the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on a cloud of heaven. The high priest tore his clothes. Why do we need any more witnesses, he said. You have heard the blasphemy. What do you think? They all condemned him as worthy of death. That's out of the Gospel of Mark. So he's got to square that. Number one, carbon taxes will kill 1 billion people over a decade. That's the numbers that Moncton's put out before, and I agree with them, that if you cut off energy to the world over 10 years, it'll kill 1 billion people or more. And Obama's told him you can't have cars, you can't have air conditioning, you can't have medicine, you can't have anything. And so this is quite a departure from anything. I mean, this guy is... He goes out and hugs old people and people with diseases, and the mainstream media that normally attacks Catholics, I mean, I'm sure you've noticed that, and attacks different popes, suddenly is in love with this pope. and just endorses everything he has to say and do, I guess knowing he'd come out for a World Council of Religions and come out for an ecumenical movement and come out for restricting free speech and come out for a world government, I guess. Interesting story. Don't know your take on it. That's just some of what we got here in the stack today. Oil projects worth billions put on hold because of dropping oil prices. And I've got more on George Soros I want to hit first. And that ties in with another story. Canned foods are what schools say people should have as a defense against shooters. That's,
we're on the
I guess, added to
the Empire
peeing on them or
run.
Vomiting on them.
Alex Jones and the GCN Radio
By the way,
Network.
I'm not joking. That's what they tell them to do. Sold out for weeks due to the difficult and extensive proprietary process behind its creation. The exclusive InfoWars Life Secret 12 formulation is now back in stock. This ultra-clean vitamin B12 nutraceutical has been carefully crafted and developed over the last 2 years and is based on cellular science of how your body actively absorbs essential nutrients. Most forms of vitamin B12 are highly processed and synthetic and could not be properly absorbed by the body. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin, the most bioactive form that has been created with our proprietary process. Secret 12 is taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. Discover the secret. Secret 12. Supplies of Secret 12 are very limited. Secure yours today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
InfoWarsLife.com. Check it out today. I have set out to bring you the most hardcore, cutting-edge supplements and nutraceuticals, bar none. And that's what you'll find at InfoWarsLife.com. We have rejected literally hundreds of products from the InfoWars Life line because they are not of the very highest quality, or because they're not 100% organic, or because they don't pass all of the strictest toxicology tests there are that we have listed at InfoWarsLife.com. Whether it's Survival Shield Nascent Iodine or DNA Force, Super Male Vitality, Super Female Vitality, Lung Cleanse, Fluoride Shield, Oxy Powder. I believe that all of these products will blow you away like they've done the thousands of other customers that have visited InfoWarsLife.com and believed in us and tried the products. Folks, check out InfoWarsLife.com today and the entire line of groundbreaking, cutting-edge, hardcore products.
Live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're live broadcasting worldwide on this Friday edition. I'll be back in studio, Lord willing, this Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, transmitting live as well. Now, continuing here, I want to tie three things together, then go to a report from Jakari Jackson on CNN and the federal government recommending that you take a can of beans with you when you go to college or public school to throw at a shooter. I'm not joking. And by the way, they know that's ridiculous. It's meant to mock you. They're all going to have paramilitary guards paid for by you and I. That's coming up. But when I saw this headline yesterday, I meant to cover it and get to it, but Shakari did a report last night for the Nightly News. It's just so over the top. But that's what all of this is about, is breaking our will. Just like when the feds came out a few years ago and told women to vomit or urinate on someone that's trying to rape you. That's the feminist thing to do. No, don't teach women how to use guns and have them carry guns and then